What's up, guys? Jason Payne, your host of the Sexy Business Status Podcast. I'm here with one of my super good friends, only because we have the same names. My man, Jason Jarvis.
What's up, dog?
Dude, so, totally kidding, but I gotta start you guys on this. So those listening, right? Male, young, 20 to 40 years old, probably small business owner, entrepreneur. Those are most of our listeners.
Yep.
Right? So, which is what Jason and I ironically are.
For another 6 months, for me at least.
And have been for the last, how long have you been in the game? 15 years? 18 years?
I've been in like the trades for almost 18 years, and I've owned a business for 12.
12, okay. Mm-hmm. So almost in the game for 2 decades.
Yep.
But owned it for over a decade.
Yep.
Okay. Oh man. Okay, so we're getting into some stuff. I got to give some history on Jason Jarvis and I before we get into this. But this dude is like the quiet guy that makes moves, doesn't tell you he makes moves until he's made moves, and then unless you ask, you don't know that he's made moves.
Which is weird because I'm not known for being shy, but yeah, I try to stay under the radar if I can.
Yeah. But dude, so true story. This is, I don't remember what year it is. 2019, 18, and I go to start my business. And this guy's like, "Oh, you need me this." I'm like, "Okay, who can I meet? Who can I look up to? Who can I network with? Who can I collaborate with? Who can I get married to?" And in the business game, as I'm starting my business, did I even own my own State 48 when I started?
Dude, in my memory, which is like admittedly not always accurate, you were kind of like, "Bro, I'm working for my uncle. Like, let's be partners. Let's start one together. I'll start Slate Roofing. Like, let's do something together." Like, you would at one point you had said like, "Let's be partners."
Yeah.
But then it was like, pretty quickly you're like, I'm gonna do my own thing and I'll just be a customer, because as a restoration company owner, I can, I was already referring roofs to you with your uncle. I could refer roofs to you if you started your own thing.
So before I started State 48.
Yeah,
it was before that. So when I was at Griffin for a year.
You were at Griffin. Yep.
Okay, so that's when it was like, hey, do I go do my own thing? Also side note, I really almost went into business with his dad, Lou. Remember that?
Yes, because I told you, this is how I remember. I was like, so I get to know you, and you're like, that's what I tell everybody about you. I'm like, I love Jason Payne because he is exactly who God made him. Like, the world's boring, mostly. I'm a 39-year-old middle-aged dad. The world's mostly pretty boring.
Yeah. Jason
Payne is not. He's interesting, and he's one-on-one, and he acts exactly the way God made him to be, and he makes no apologies. It's great, and I love that. And I remember at one point us having a conversation where somewhere in the conversation was the idea that we could be partners. And what I remember is being like, Jay, I don't know who kills who, but like, we shouldn't be partners. Like, you have a strong take. Like, you have a vision. You know what you want. And like, yeah, maybe you haven't done it all on your own before. Maybe you don't know how to read a P&L yet. Maybe you haven't hired a CPA before. Like, there's some things you don't know. But like,
sure.
Like, I'll be useful to you for 6 months, and then once you figure that out, you'll shoot off like a rocket.
Right.
And I won't run as fast as you, and you'll be like, where the hell are you? Like, we won't. I said, Jason, you should do your own thing. If any man should own 100% of his own gig on planet Earth, it's Jason Payne. There's a bunch of stuff you don't know. Do not give up half your company because you don't know some stuff. Go freaking learn it, and you'll go take over the world.
I almost started with 10% ownership of State 48, and your dad had 80.
Yeah,
I think he gifted me 5 and Connor 5.
That was after I told you. He said, no, I will not be your 50. You were like, let's be 50-50. I'm like, no, own 100% of it. Go figure it out. You'll be scared for 6 months and rich for the rest of your life. And then you're like, dude, okay, got it. And you call my dad and you try to give him 90%. I'm like, all right, well, I tried. I tried to help. I love my dad. If someone's going to take 90% of the ownership of your company and get rich off of you, no one I would want to get rich off of you more than my dad. So I'm like, if that's what you want to do, bro, Godspeed. But I told you, just go do it on your own. You'll figure it out. Go steal the money, dude.
Sure. So that happened, but I remember when starting State 48. Like I remember vividly. I'm not gonna cry, but vividly being like, and there's people that you and I still know, still hang out with, still talk to, that you're maybe friends with that I'm not friends with, or vice versa, that literally like didn't believe in me. I was just like a little pissant roofer. Like, oh yeah, he does roofing. Like, works for his uncle.
Yeah.
And you're like, let's work together. Yeah. And like we did like a ton of deals together.
Work together.
Like
I may at one point have been State 48's biggest customer, and I got for like a brief moment.
You were my number one restoration company for like 3 years. Yeah, like hands down. And now you're like the 300th out of 300.
Yeah, and that wasn't charity. That was like, you were awesome, and then like I wanted an awesome roofer. It wasn't I'm not Mother Teresa in this story.
I also threw like a $750,000 flip gut. Remember that apartment complex in North Mesa?
Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
So the reciprocity was there for sure.
I made out just fine in my relationship with State 48 Roofing.
Yeah, that's fair. So, okay, so I want to get into
But I believed in you then, and I believe in you now. And I think if you're a listening audience, like what I saw that I believed in was like enthusiasm and a willingness to figure it out. And like, there's a lot of qualities that go into entrepreneurship, but I evolve my thinking as I get older on what matters the most. Like, you give me a guy who's high in enthusiasm, not easily discouraged, I'll bet on that guy all day long. And so like, you just struck me as a guy who's like, I'm not scared and I don't have an ego. Like, I don't know what I don't know. And because I know that I don't know it, I'll figure it out. So you were egoless and you were enthusiastic and you were tenacious. And I was like, dude, guys like that just figure it out. So like, I saw that in you. I'm like, oh, that's a no brainer. I didn't believe in you like the way your dad believes in you. I just like, I looked at, it's like, I believe in you the way if I walked down the street and I saw a 7-foot black guy, I'd be like, bet that guy'd be good at basketball. Like, I just like saw you like observations. Like, yeah, that guy's got at least some of the raw material needed. He'll be just fine.
Just fine. So fast forward 5 years. Mm-hmm. This is wild. So I haven't seen you physically in like 2 years.
It's been a while.
Because you moved to California.
I moved to San Clemente. Yep.
Right. You actually bought an existing roofing company, so now we're competitors. We'll get into that in a second, right? Because Heidi's like, no joke. You were going to the bathroom. I went to the bathroom. I'm on the phone with Heidi. And like, oh, I'm doing a podcast with Jason Jarvis. She's like, why the hell are you doing a podcast with Jason Jarvis? Like, he owns a roofing company. I'm like, I'll call you back.
I believe in you, but not enough to be scared out of the roofing space. Yeah. I believe in you, but I also believe in myself.
I remember that phone call.
There's
like,
room for two of us.
Hey, can I call you? I'm like, what's up? He's like, I bought a roofing company. And I'm like, you're an asshole. And I hung up on you. And then I called you back like a day or two later.
I remember hanging up and going, we'll be fine.
Yeah, we'll work it.
And I'm like, we'll be fine.
I was like, so does that mean Slate's not my number one restoration referral company anymore? Like,
we slid down the list. We slid down the list.
Yeah, anyways. So the whole point I'm trying to get at, those that are listening, is like, dude, like, you have to understand that like relationships are everything.
Yeah.
They just are. Relationships open doors. I think like on my top of my list, I think of you, I think of Cam, I think of Evan, this guy named Mark. There's like these handful of guys that, like James McCabe, that like they're just, if you nurture and maintain the relationship while still grinding it out, people will appreciate the hustle. They'll see the hustle. Yeah. Because once they saw, past tense, right? I say one of the things I teach is show, don't tell. Like, show me,
100%.
Don't tell me. I'm like, let me show you what I'm doing. And they're like, oh shit, because you showed me, let me introduce you to so-and-so. Because the talk is just, right?
I teach seminary and I tell my kids at the beginning of the year, like, I get emotional. I've taught 2 years in a row, so it's 2 different classes. But both classes, the first day I cry because I'm like, hey, I want you guys to know I love you. And I start to cry and I'm like, I love you guys. I'm like, I've known him for 5 minutes. And I'm like, listen, I'm not going to talk about this because this is weird and you won't believe me and it's weird. But like, I'm telling the truth. But when we graduate, this seminary class graduates, you'll remember today when I say I love you, and you'll know 100% that I was absolutely meant to with all my heart. Because like, I'll have a year to show you. Right. Telling you is so cheap, but you'll know eventually. Right. And I think that's how it is like with relationships. Like all these people you mentioned, they're not that they're good networkers, because there's plenty of people who meet people and people meet them and go, ugh. Right. This guy just sees me like a freaking T-bone steak and is trying to, get something from me. But like when you just like go about doing good and just serve people and want to connect with people and rooting for people, like I root for Jason Payne. I think you've sensed that I root for you. So dude, we compete. We don't compete. Like you just know that I love you, bro. I want you to win. And so it's not that we've networked into each other. It's that we've identified each other as like, I like that guy. I think that guy's in my trap. I think I can count on that guy. I think that guy is who he holds himself out to be. So we'll be homies.
Right. So that's the thing about the relationship, right? Is when you have that like that giver's mentality of like, dude, I just want to help. 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 And like you did that from day one. You're like, Jason, how can I help you? And I'm like, I don't know, introduce me to this person, or help me with this, or like, I don't know what I'm doing here, or maybe throw me a couple deals or whatever. And you're like, done. And it wasn't like, but in return, how many of us have friends? But in return, I want X.
Yeah.
And I'm like, those are like surface level relationships. You have them, I have them. You probably texted them or talked to them today. I texted them or talked to them yesterday. Like, they're all there. But like, when you truly can find somebody and that doesn't like expect anything, like, I just want to call you and tell you you're freaking awesome. Well, what do you want? I just want to tell you you're awesome. That's all.
I got 2 slices and a drink today. Got a soda and 2 slices of pepperoni pizza. It was a transaction. They gave me what I asked for, and I gave them what they asked for. And so that's fair. I have no malice towards the pizza place. I like the pizza place. But I didn't leave there thinking, God, those pizza guys are good people. I'm rooting for those guys. Yeah. I owe them one. They had my back, I'm at theirs. No, it was a transaction. And transactions are fine.
5-star review.
They're not meaningful. So like, I think sometimes in networking, people are trying to do this transaction thing, and they're trying to get their $10 before they even offer you a slice of pizza, and it just feels gross. And so you shove those people away. But there's other people that are just like, have your back. We're rooting for you. We want you to win.
Right. So that's the thing I hope you guys understand is that like when it comes to relationships and business or in business, like that's what you want to do. And then another thing that I've always realized with you is like you say, I'm going to call you back. And then you actually text me or you call me on the phone. You're like, actually, I'm going to say that, but I'm actually not going to call you back. but like, I appreciate that. Be like, hey, I'll call you. So I actually stopped doing that like 2 years ago. Like, hey, I'll call you back. And I'm like, I'm not going to call you back. I'm going to forget. I'm going to get busy. Yeah. Then I got wife and I got kids and then I got to fall asleep. Like, I'm not going to call you back. Like, hey, good talking to you. Let's chat soon. Click.
Yeah.
Because what happens, we say these like subconscious promises and we don't fulfill them. And that's where the relationship gets tainted of like, oh, you said you were going to do this and said you're going to do that, big or small. But then I remember like, I have people that I talk to that I'm like, oh yeah, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that. And then like, they never do it.
Well, and I know that if I tell you I'll call you back and I don't, I know that you'll think a little less of me, but I don't think we realize that I'm going to think less of myself.
Yeah.
That like, if Jason Payne said, meet me at the gym at 7, 3 days in a row, and all 3 days I show up and Jason doesn't show up, I'm just like, Jason's a loser. Jason Payne's a loser. But if I tell myself 3 nights in a row that I'm going to take myself to the gym at 7 a.m. and then all 3 days I sleep in, I think this is a victimless crime. But like, no, I think I'm a loser now. I think that I'm not one to be trusted.
Right.
And so like now I don't have, so all these kids have self-esteem issues. It's like, because you just treat yourself like crap. Like if anyone else stood you up like that, you think they're a loser. You think yourself's a loser.
Right.
So I don't like that. And then the other hidden cost is like, when I tell you I'll call you back, I've now given myself an assignment. And then I talk to somebody else and I say, yeah, let me help you with that. And then someone in my church says, can you help me move? And I say, sure. Well, now I've got 20 assignments I've taken on. Right. I didn't write them down.
You can't fulfill any.
I didn't mean them when I said them.
Right.
Just I liked how I sounded when I said I'll show up Saturday morning to help you move. I didn't actually mean it. I just liked how it sounded.
Or make them feel good and you don't want to disappoint them.
And now I'm dragging 25-pound rocks. Yeah, that's up to 100 pounds. I'm dragging everywhere I go. And like the experience of living my life is now pretty unpleasant. Because I just said a thing I didn't mean. So it's like, dude, not only do I not respect myself, but now I've just burdened myself. It's just not a fun way to live. So as painful it is to say, Jay, I can't answer and I don't even know if I can call you back. As painful as that is in the moment, it's better than saying I'll call you back and then feeling guilty when I don't and then losing respect for myself. Like the real cost, it's more painful to pretend to be committed to something you're not committed to. Even though it's a little bit worse on the front end. You got to kind of like take the lump on the front end, but it sets you free moving forward.
Dude, like learning to say no. How powerful has that been in your success in business? Learning to tell people just say no.
So in my roofing business, my partner was like, we want to start a roofing company. And that's not the important part, but the important part is when we were talking about what it might look like, I said, hey, I want to be clear what I am and I'm not committed to. And I said, listen.
Very clear.
I said, National Geographic, they go out in the African Sahara, and there's a lion over here, and there's a gazelle over here, and the gazelle does not realize the lion's over there. The cameraman does. The cameraman sees it. So the cameraman, they have a choice. And National Geographic is we do not interfere with nature. So the cameraman could throw a rock at the gazelle and spook it off so to save its life. Could save its life.
Sure.
But they don't. They just sit behind the camera, and they watch the lion stalk it down and rip its throat out in front of its family. You know, like they don't interfere with nature. I told my partner, I said, I will put up money, I will put up mentorship, I will do this, and I will do that. But I said, I will not come out from behind the camera. I will watch you die. I will watch you die before I come into the roofing company and take a job on the org chart called sales manager or general manager or ops manager or secretary. I will work on the business with you. I'll give you every tool I can see. I'll give you 110%. I'll give you all my best stuff.
Resources,
I'll give you my money.
Relationships, contacts.
But I would rather lose whatever money I put into this and have this business fail than wake up 18 months from now with a full-time job as a sales manager or operations manager inside this roofing company. I will not do that. And if that doesn't work for you, that's okay. But like that's what I am and I'm not committed to.
Setting realistic expectations.
Yeah. And it was selfish because I'm like, I know what I want to do with my life. And I know my tendencies. My tendencies are to jump in and help. Let me help. And I'll end up resenting him or regretting the deal or whatever. It's like, as I get older, I'm just like, the only kind thing to do to anyone, myself and others, is to just be relentlessly clear on what aligns for me and what does not.
How important is that? Because this is a segue this on purpose into partnerships, right? Funny you brought that up, because some people hate them, talk shit about them, terrible thing, worst thing ever, don't do it. Because I'm doing some M&A stuff and some I have some NDA out for other industries and whatnot, and that's kind of my next 24, 36 months. I'm really excited, really fun. I've never done it before.
Yeah.
So a lot of like this. So as I make phone calls and talk to people and get mentored.
Yeah.
In those where I'm a rookie at best, right? First time like major league, like I'm not the triple A's or single A's anymore. Riding on the bus, I'm like, I actually got to go on the private jet. I'm like,
exactly.
my name's on the locker, not in tape, like actually in like a really cool font, and and I'm going down that route, and I'm like, okay, do I want a partner? Do I want multiple partners? How much equity do I want to give up from day one or not give up? What does that look like? You have multiple businesses with at least one, if not multiple partners in those businesses.
Yep.
And as far as I know, they've turned out pretty damn good for you.
Yeah.
So far.
Yeah.
Right. This is also September in 2025.
On the record, we off-ramped a minority partner in our roofing company in Utah. It did not work. So like, I'm not betting 1,000. So gives me some experience.
Nor should you.
Right. I feel comfortable in the way I've comported myself through all of my partnerships, and most of them are still going, and one of them isn't still going.
Okay. So share with the audience. By the
audience of one.
The audience of one. Hey, the 4 of you listening. You know what the funny part is? Like, people do podcasts. I just want to ask you questions.
I was saying audience of one. Like, I'm talking to you, man. Yeah, you're talking to me.
You guys are like, oh, that's a great question. Like, you MFers listening, I didn't do that for you. I'm doing this for me.
Right.
This is me. I'm just stealing nuggets, but I get to share with all you. You guys all get to benefit from me asking the nugget.
Yep.
So that being said, so what makes a great partnership and what makes a terrible partnership? Because you just had one didn't go your way, right? Good, bad, or otherwise.
Yep.
Whether it was a long one or a short one. What has been, because you have Heath, or we're allowed to say his name?
Yeah, we love Heath.
I call him the Wizard of Oz. Nobody knows who he is or what he looks like. But you've had him with Slate since day one, right?
He's been in my life since day one at Slate. About 2 years in is when he became a partner. He was like a consultant mentor for 2 years, and then we made it official.
Okay. So how profitable, how valuable has that mentorship / partners? It's a paid partnership.
Yeah.
What does that look like? And why?
So not everyone understood. When we became partners, he was a lawyer who had a full-time 40-hour-a-week job in Salt Lake City, and I was in Arizona working a restoration company. So it didn't make sense to some people who'd never seen him why he gets X dollars,
Sure.
And the way I described it, this isn't a partnership where there's like a clear mentor and a clear like active partner. Like, it's almost like one's on the field running plays and the other one's calling in plays from the sideline. He was
one's
like
a coach,
sideline.
one's a quarterback.
Yes.
Yes.
And so people who didn't see him on the field, blood, sweat, and tears, thought he wasn't contributing or didn't understand how. And so what I would say is, listen, we talk every week for an hour and a half. And some weeks there's not a lot going on, and some weeks there is. But I promise you that at least twice a year he steers me into a $1 million opportunity or away from a $1 million mistake. And so if he can do that twice a year, he can have the other 50 weeks off. We can talk about the weather the other 50 weeks. Yeah. But when I need him, he's got the wisdom, the experience. He's got what I need. And so it's absolutely worth it. So no, I don't need him alongside, shoulder to shoulder on my sales calls on a Tuesday afternoon. I just need him there to steer me into a $1 million opportunity and away from a $1 million mistake once or twice a year.
Like a sounding board.
Yeah, sounding board. And just someone with wisdom and intelligence. Like, this guy's a really bright guy, and he had a restoration company that's 5 times bigger than mine is today, that he grew and sold by the time he was 35. Like, this guy knows what he's freaking doing, dude. Yeah. And so
hold on, let me stop you there. Pay attention to that. You didn't go into business with somebody that has never been in your industry, never done it, never been successful in any of those things. You literally found somebody that's already done what you're trying to do, and exited, and was successful in it, and
a great freaking dad.
Do you not see people doing it all the time though? Like, they're like getting advice from freaking idiots or losers.
So the thing that drew me to him is he had sold his company right as I was getting into the space, and as soon as he sold, all of his competitors are like, "We gotta hire him." What's he doing next? Yeah. Everyone wanted him.
Snatch him.
And then the next thing that happens, he started a restoration supply company. So he's a restoration guy. He kicks everybody's butts, sells his company for a bunch of money, and then starts a restoration supply company. And all the people whose butts he'd been kicking, like he took the ASU job from this guy, and he took the Banner Healthcare account from this guy. And then he sells his company, and he comported himself in such a way that when he leaves, he starts a restoration supply company. And the guy whose business he took is like, sure, I'll buy plastics and dehues from you. So I'm like, this guy is like, if this guy has this kind of standing in his community, that's a good dude.
Right.
So I just wanted to meet him.
In a very shady industry, by the way.
Yeah, in an industry that's not known to produce glowing, high integrity men and women. So I was like, dude, this guy's legit. Yeah. So like I chased him down for his wisdom and experience, and it was absolutely worthwhile. Now, what I will say is, in these new businesses, I have new partnerships, right? And now...
Because you flip it where you're now the coach and not the quarterback.
So now from my perspective, the thing that's relevant to what you're about to do, which is like you're looking at M&A, you're looking to be the Heath. And like that's what I've tried to do in these last couple of deals. There's a couple things I've learned. One, I actually hated partnerships when I first started. And so Heath and I were not equal partners. Like he was a consultant that I paid for 2 years, and then we were 85-15. So like we dated a full 2 year before he got even 1% of ownership. And then it was 85-15. It was clearly my business. I made the decisions, you know, it still felt like my baby.
Sure.
It wasn't 50-50. And so I was always scared of 50-50 partnerships. The only ship that doesn't sail is a partnership, and blah, blah, blah. And I was anti-partnership. I'm still scared of partnerships, but here's some things I've learned. One, you have a successful business in State 48, and then you have other successful coaching businesses, and I don't want to misspeak of all the things you do, but you're okay. So now you can step into these new partnerships, and you can have the right emotional relationship with the deal because you can walk away from it. You don't need the deal, you want the deal. And that's what allowed me to say, I'll watch you die before I step out from behind the camera. I was able to be really clear on what did and didn't align for me because I didn't need the deal. Like I could just have Slate Restoration and be thrilled out of my mind.
Sure.
I could just do what I was already doing and be okay. And so I didn't have any desperation. I didn't get myself into a bad deal. And so I like having something first.
Which makes you think and act logically.
Yes.
And logically, non-emotionally charged decision making.
I promise you, Jason Payne working in this XYZ job at ABC Corporation for $93,000 a year and wanting to freaking blow your brains out, hating your job, hating your life. Some guy's like, do you want to start a business with me? Yes, I'll do anything you want. I'll work for free. You take 80, just get me out of here.
Yeah.
I'm dying, anything's better than this. And you negotiate a bad deal from your place of pain. And then 18 months later, you're in a different place and you're like, I got effed. But do you think you have the self-awareness to look in the mirror and blame yourself? No, you go, Billy screwed me. Billy's a shitty partner. It's like, no, you negotiate. Like you don't remember where you were 18 months ago. Yeah. You were desperate. That I pulled you out of. Yeah, you just didn't want to. Listen, you were just like, you just didn't want to be single. So you dated some guy you knew was going to cheat on you. Or you just said, you don't have to buy me dinner. I'll buy my own dinner. Just don't make me go to sleep alone. Like you were not in a good place.
Right.
So like, I like that Slate keeps me grounded. And the deal has to be amazing. I always tell people, I got an awesome life. This has got to be it's got to be awesome or better. Because everything else in my life is already awesome. So the floor is awesome.
Yeah.
And so like, I'm not bluffing when I say, I'd rather let this thing die than come take a crappy job that I don't want, that doesn't align for me. Like working 40 hours a week inside this new business while still having my other business, while still trying to coach my daughter's volleyball team is like, I'm not bluffing when I say I won't do that. And so, yeah, it allows me to be clear-headed. And so like, I actually like for me to have a backup plan. But then, so anyways, that's kind of one whole and complete thought that I'm happy to let you respond to. But then, I'm happy to tell you about the actual deals I have and how they're working and why I think they're working. But do we have any thoughts? I just shared a lot of thoughts. Does that bring up anything for you?
No, that's perfect. Because what I think of is a lot of people are scared to go and have partnerships, but I think it's just a lack of communication, lack of clarity of your roles.
Yeah.
Right. Because like there's like the one or two that I'm going to get into in the next 6 months are like I'm not the operator, the day-to-day guy.
Yeah.
I'm not. Might be some financial backing there, but the marketing, the sales there, the relationships, the connections, the capital there, like that's where I come in and I bring that value or you can just trip and fall and stumble and do it yourself.
And it's like, if I'm like looking down the barrel of the camera and talking to the audience who may be considering wanting to do a business with Jason Payne if they get so lucky, I would say that when I was in the junior role, having a partner who'd been there before, knew they're doing, was absolutely worth its weight in gold and an absolute like force multiplier.
But I love what you said though, because in the beginning, like one, you dated Heath for 2 years before you married him, number one. Number two, even at that point, you're like, man, I gave him all this, and it's like he's actually, but I'm the one here sweating the blood, sweat, and tears 60 hours a week, and he's in Utah. He doesn't know how to spell dehumidifier, right? Like right. Not the Slate version, right?
Yeah.
Even though he did it, 5x. But like I think just the marathon approach. I think Cam has got to be one of the best definitions of this, of like having good mentors, having good partnerships that helped him get such a huge exit.
Yeah.
Whereas if it was just him and or just Dusty, they would have gotten, I mean, dare I say, half.
Yeah.
Right. Not nearly as much as they could have.
Yeah.
If he didn't have strategic. Yes, because you and I both know a couple of his partners who are like psycho giants.
Yeah.
And but like having those strategically, but in the beginning, 8 years ago, 10 years ago, it was just him and Dusty freaking in little dinky trucks, and the 130 trucks that they exited with. Like the strategery behind of having those mentors as partners.
It's incredible. It's powerful. It's a big deal.
Well, and it's just like more commas and zeros, more EBITDA and more multiples at that 3 or 5 or 10 year exit.
But one thing I have learned that I think is non-conventional, like some wisdom or some perspective I could bring that maybe is unusual to my life, is that I didn't settle for this idea that we've never been in business together and we got to split up the freaking ownership today before we even start. That never made sense to me. It was like, let's get married before we date. And I'm like, that doesn't make any sense, dude. Like, this is part of my vision is like, I met 2018 Jason, and it wasn't hard for me to imagine 2025 Jason. I was like, this guy's gonna be a badass. I can see it. So when I start a business, it's nothing today, but I see it as like, we're gonna sell for $20 million one day. That means every 1% of ownership is worth $200,000. Like, we need to really freaking slow down and figure this out. I don't think we're splitting up a couple of pennies.
So good.
So one of my pieces of advice is when you negotiate as if it's worth the thing, like what you think it's going to be worth. Yep. Like if you wouldn't give someone $5 million to be your partner, don't give them 50% of a business that you believe with all your heart will sell for $10 million or more. That's insane.
Like start with an exit in mind.
Yes.
I forgot who said it. It's probably a podcast or on social media, but they said in business, know that you're going to get married, but you have to get divorced. What does that look like?
He says it nicely. He says people get on the bus and they get off the bus, and you got to be comfortable with that. The goal is when they get off the bus, they're closer to home than when they got on the bus. So whatever they want in their life, when they get on the State 48 bus, they're going to get on, they're going to ride a while. If you're lucky, they'll ride with you for decades. They might ride with you for 6 months. But your job is that when they get off the bus, they weren't trying to get to Mexico and they got on the bus and you took them closer to Canada, now they're further from home. Like your job is however long they stay, you're taking them closer to home, dude.
Right.
And partnerships are like that too. But if something's going to be worth $10 million, we're not going to say, oh, whatever, let's just go 50-50. That sounds fair. It's like, no, you're going to really hash it out. But the thing that the value that I want to provide is like, for me, I've always tried to be creative where I'd say, listen, we got to figure out a way to date. Let's be creative. Let's do something. Like, why don't we set it up this way to where I hold 100% of the ownership and we tried it this way for 90 days. And if you still like it after 90 days and I still like it, then we'll already pre-agree that you can buy 10 or 20% or you can be gifted, like structuring something up where it's like, let's try this in a way that if it doesn't work, we can undo it. I'm like, listen, hey, I think we want to be roofing partners. I'm going to put up this much money. But after 12 months, we both reserve the right to sort of unwind this. Like we can turn this money I turn into a loan at 8% interest and I can back out if you don't like me as your partner. We can wrap this up another way. I'm always trying to figure out like what could we do to sort of play house a little bit before we get married? And it's not always easy, but I think if you realize that it's possible, that like this is all just made up. We can make up whatever we want. Let's be
the best part about a deal, there is zero rules.
There's zero rules. Just figure it out, dude. Zero. Make it up.
Until you get attorneys and like put it on paper and you sign, there are no rules.
I tell people like, hey, let's figure this out and you can fire me in a year.
It could be anything you want.
Yeah. Anything you want.
Every Friday from 7 to 8 p.m. you have to come massage my feet. And you put it in an operating agreement and you show up at 7 o'clock and you have to massage my feet.
That's it, dude.
It's wild.
It's all negotiable.
It's all negotiable. Okay, let me ask you this. Because I haven't thought about this.
So try to find a way to date before you get married. Don't get tricked into thinking you have to get married so that you can date. I I reject that premise. I'm not smart enough to tell you in your business how you should do that, but whatever deal you're looking, don't let anyone tell you that you have to have 100% of the details figured out, set in stone, and then you get to start day one of working together. I reject that. Be creative. You can find ways around that.
Yeah. Well, and like I said, you can start high and go low, but you can't go low and then go like. Yeah. You start low, and then you can work, or they can earn their way to ownership or more equity. So two questions. One, why not just pay a coach instead of? Why don't you just pay, like for an example, take away Heath the person, but just Heath the mentor. Why not just pay Heath on a yearly basis to coach you versus being your partner?
Well, I did pay him. So
this is a great question, by the way.
So this is a great question, and it's funny. I'm in Jason's house here on Jason's podcast, and I might give an answer that scares somebody away from wanting to do a deal with Jason. But I'm gonna just tell you the answer to that question the best I can. This is the analogy I would say.
There's pros and cons to both. I want to know what yours are.
I would say that just because water is valuable doesn't mean it's expensive. So like if I don't drink water, I'm dead in 3 days, right?
Right.
So water is the most important, valuable thing in the world. That's how I feel about mentorship. It's incredibly important that you get good wisdom, but that doesn't mean just because I'll be dead in 3 days without this does not mean I will pay you $1,000 for it. I took it out of your fridge without asking and paid you nothing. It's both important and not that expensive.
Right.
So I would say that if someone wants to give you all the secrets of life in exchange for a cheeseburger and you buy him lunch every week and he wants to tell you how to run your life, then don't give him I'm willing to give someone the minimum amount necessary to extract the value from them. And so I started with Heath. I bought him a cheeseburger and I peppered him with questions for 90 minutes and he liked my vibe. And so he gave me 90 minutes. We had fun. And then I was like, I get to the end, I go, Heath, I want to talk to you again like tomorrow. And I know that like a cheeseburger was $9 and 90 minutes, like you're worth more than $6 an hour. What can we do, bro? He's like, I'll meet with you again. Don't worry about it. I go, yeah, I know you meet with me a second time. What about the third and the fourth and 28th? Like,
no, what about 52 times a year?
What do we got to do here? Like, I want 52 times a year at an hour and a half.
Yeah. And like that's the worst thing too. So sorry to cut you off. Like, there's nothing worse than like asking somebody for advice and then asking again and again and again and again and again, and then not like giving them something.
Exactly.
Something. A relationship, a contact, a gift.
Or how about
partnership,
this?
Ownership, money. Like,
let me tell you what I want. Acknowledgement. So something I've done well at times and done poorly at times is like, so this Jeff Dudan guy, or I don't know how to pronounce his last name.
Sure.
But I met him yesterday, and he sold a restoration company for $1 bajillion, right?
Sure.
I'm not airing his dirty laundry because I'm making up, that's a fake number. I just know it was a lot.
Sure.
And I have a restoration company, and he's way more successful than me. And so I meet him and we chat, and at the end, I'm like, I want this guy in my freaking life. And so my first thought is an insecure thought. It's a transactional thought. Mm-hmm. What can I give this guy? What can I dangle in front of him so that he'll want to take my call when I call? So I'm like, what can I? And I'm like, he's richer than me. He's cooler than me. He's got more friends. I'm drawing a blank.
I got nothing.
I got my boyish charm. But then I realized, why am I trying to come up with a transaction? I don't like transactions.
Yeah.
I want a relationship. So the podcast episode ends, and we, because I was on his pod with Cam or Cam's pod with him, and I end and I just go, hey, you seem really freaking cool, dude. Like, I'm about to get off the boat and go back to work, and all I can think is I don't want this to be the last time we ever talk. I go, I gotta be honest, dude. I got absolutely nothing to offer you, but I'd love to be your friend. I don't know why you'd give me your cell phone number, but I know why I want it. I want it because I think you're cool, dude, and I'd love to just like learn from you. I'm inspired by you. I'm in awe of what you built. Like, I've done one restoration company. It was hard. You did 240. That's so cool. Like, you can totally say no, but it would really bless me in my life if I had your number and you were willing to take a call from me.
And what happened?
And if you don't, that'd be cool. And he's like, of course, bro. Like, because like I acknowledged him. I said, I got nothing. I told him the truth, and people like the truth. If I had said, yes, hey, I'm actually thinking about franchising my restoration company to 65 locations. Maybe if you're lucky, I'll cut you in on my deal. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I could have like tried to pretend like I'm a big dog, but I'm like, I'm not a big dog, but we're the same breed. I'm like a tiny little golden doodle, and you're like a big, strong golden doodle. Like, we're the same breed. Right. You're just bigger and stronger and richer than me. But like, he can see himself in me, and I can see myself in him. But we're not. I'm 4 pounds and he's 80 pounds. We're not the same thing. We don't need to be the same thing. It's enough that we're in the same tribe. You know what I mean? Right. The same breed. So I don't have to pretend that I could beat him in a fight, like that I'm a bigger dog than him, I could just go, dude, I'm this little teeny golden doodle. I'd love to be a big golden doodle like you one day. Can I just pick your brain? I got nothing to offer in return, but I just would nothing but my gratitude. And like that is a relationship. So that's how I started with Heath. I said, I got nothing to offer you but gratitude. And then I'm like, my gratitude is not that valuable. Can I give you some money? And so it just evolved. And to land the plane on your original question was, we became partners because at a certain point, he's like, hey, I have a non-compete for 2 years or whatever, or my non-compete's run up. I can do anything I want in restoration. And God bless you, I love you, but like my restoration company is 10 times the size of yours. I could just keep giving you free advice every Tuesday for a couple grand a month. Or I could just say, thanks, this has been fun. I'm done now, and I go start my own company and we're competitors, and that would be kind of a bummer. So what would you propose we do? What would work for you? And so like
options.
It was just like he was nice enough to be like, hey man, this has worked up till now, and it's gonna stop working because I kind of want a little more. Like I'm not gonna always just give away all my secrets in my home market for a couple grand a month. So either take the secrets and may God bless you on your journey, or if you want to become, if I had some ownership, I would continue to go on the journey with you, and you just put the ball in my court. And so if I can grab a free water out of your fridge, I'll grab a free water out of your fridge. And if I'm in the middle of the desert and there's no water for 100 miles and someone shows up and says, I got one bottle, but it's going to cost 100 grand and you can pay 100 grand or die, I'll pay 100 grand. It's situational. Sure. If somebody in your life wants to help, if you can get Jason Payne to help you grow your business for a cheeseburger, just give him a cheeseburger. If he wants 95% and you get 5, and that's the best deal you got, that's still better than working your crappy job that you hate with no potential to grow. Like any mentor is better than no mentor, but find the cheapest mentor you can find.
Well, cause that's what I'm asking. Like, why don't you just cut somebody a check for, like I said, $1,000 or $2,000 a month and just have them be your mentor? The difference is just like, funny you said, so he gave you his number, right? What is his obligation to take your phone call, respond to you, talk to you for a minute or an hour or 2 hours?
Well,
given time.
Let me give you an inappropriate analogy, because I know Heath will not appreciate an inappropriate analogy, but you will.
Oh, I love him.
Like when I paid him per phone call, it was like having a prostitute. You're like you have your interaction, you leave the money on the nightstand, and then that's not your girlfriend. You don't text her and say how's your day.
Yeah.
You don't like. And if you do, then she's like, I'll answer, but you need to Venmo me $50. I don't do anything for free. Like
right.
This is a transaction. And then we become partners, and now that was my wife, dude. Now it's like we share our lives together. He's there for me when I need him. So when he was consulting me, it was 90 minutes every Tuesday, and if I show up 5 minutes late, it's 85 minutes every Tuesday.
Yeah, and if you burn your business to the ground, like that's your fault, not my fault.
And if I burn my business to the ground, he's like, you didn't call me on Tuesday, and if it's still burning, we'll talk about how to put it out. But like I bought a certain amount of access, and Heath's a great, lovely. I named my son after him, so like he's a lovely man. I named my son after my dad and Heath. And so he's a lovely man, but like the nature of the relationship was boundary. There was boundaries to the relationship. And as partners, not only is it different in our professional lives, but in our personal lives, it's different. I have a friend who I have business coaches I pay. I have therapists I pay. I got all sorts of people I pay, and I pay them, and it serves me. But there's a guy in my life named Chris Bray, who I don't pay, and we don't hang out. But he's full of wisdom, and every once in a while, I want to call somebody who's willing to take my call, tell me they love me, be deeply present with me, and give me some great advice. And when I hang up, there was no transaction. And it feels like, oh my gosh, this guy just freaking loves it. And it fills me with gratitude. It fills me with a desire to go forth and do likewise.
Yep.
And like, it's really beautiful. So once we're partners, it changes the relationship to where it's like, I've got his back, he's got mine, we're in it together. I'm gonna be at his son's wedding in the morning. He's gonna be at, if my parents die, he'll be at the funeral. You know what I mean?
Right.
If he dies, I don't think I'll speak at his funeral, but I think I can get my hands on one of I can be a pallbearer. Like this is my guy. Don't name my son after him. Like that doesn't happen with a consultant. The consultant's still kind of transactional. It's not that level of real relationship.
A coach, a consultant, a mentor. A mentor is probably a little more than a transaction, but at the end of the day, like some sort of, because there's coaches all over the place and there's consultants all over the place. Like they're just, in the last like 12 months, there's like out of
they're paid to care about you, and your partner cares about you because you're on the same boat.
And the second you stop paying them, they stop taking your phone calls, and the 90 minutes goes to shit. And they never talk to you again.
Yeah.
But like, I guess the I've never thought about it this way, but like coaching and consulting is transactional and a partnership is transformational.
And it's like,
because it's more than just on a business level, it's a personal level, and they have genuine, not just financial, but like genuine interest of you like becoming a better spouse, becoming a better parent, becoming a better dad or a husband, and growing and thriving in your business instead of like, I'm giving you the tools, like almost like do it for you versus do it with you, right?
It's a different energy. Yeah,
and that's kind of my thing, because like I said, I don't have, I swear on my life, I texted Evan Ritchie the other day, like one of the dudes I would go into business with tomorrow is Evan Ritchie, like salt of the earth.
No guile.
No, yeah, just like.
He is who he says he is, and who he is a good dude.
Yeah, and I'm like, I'm to the point to where in my roofing company, like I'd rather just pay a mentor or consultant to help me exit. Like, hey, like set me up, almost not like a broker, but like similar to that. Like, hey, set me up, give me rock and rolling. I got a 36-month exit. Like, let's go do X. And go about doing that, but like going future with me and acquiring either other roofing companies or multiple roofing companies and starting or acquiring other industries, I'm like, just like that's, I'm like, dude, I can coach you for $10,000 to $20,000 a year.
Yeah,
not a problem, right? $1,000 a month, $1,500 a month, $2,000 a month, whatever, right? And you can ask me questions, and we meet for 90 minutes once a month, and you have my cell phone, and you can call me if you have a question, this and that. But like, if we're partners. Bro, you think I'm only talking to you 90 minutes once a month? You're out of your effing mind. And apart from all the other shit that I don't even call you on, that I'm naturally investing into you, like.
And it feels different. Like,
I go hard in the paint if that's the case.
My partners and I in the roofing company, like, dude, we love each other. Like, we legit have each other's back. And like, at a certain point, life is about who you spend it with. And I had this great coach at one point that I kind of wanted to be friends with. It's like I fell in love with a prostitute. And I was like, it's like I forgot. It's like, I think she really likes me. And it's like, no, put the money on the nightstand. Like you're not going to have the level of relationship with a consultant that you have with a business partner. At a certain point, it's like, I want to live my life with people that I can make a difference for. And Hayden, my roofing partner, and I, like, we love each other, bro. Like, me and Heath, we freaking love each other. I have a partner, I don't even know if you know this, but I bought a rain gutter business in Dallas, Texas with a guy named Garrett Larson, talking trash with Garrett the Trash Man. He used to be in the trash business. He had a podcast. And I just want to live my life with him, dude. He's just dope. I have his back and he has mine. And so as I've gotten older and I have less ego and I have more wisdom and experience, I actually have the right tools to be in a partnership. It's almost like, you know, some of us, we get married at 20, we're going to mess it up. You get married at 30, you got a little more wisdom and experience. It's like, I don't think I was ready to be in a good partnership at 22 or something.
Dude.
But at 39, I'm like, dude, if I can add value to your life, that's great. And if I don't add value to your life, buy me out. Because like, I don't want to be in a partnership. Like, no one's forced to stay in a partnership with me. Like I can opt out and I'll let them. But like, we know that 1 + 1 = 3 together. And we like it. We're having a good time, dude. And now these are my homies, dude. This is who I spend my life with. I don't do a lot outside of work besides my family. It's like, these are the dudes that like, these are my dudes.
You want to roll with.
Yeah.
So let me, as we wrap up, those that are listening, share it, tag Jason, tag myself, right? It's blue collar guys, small business stuff, like entrepreneurs. Like this is the kind of conversations that we have literally on the phone, just you and I talking, right? Not just being on camera. What advice? You're married. You have 3 kids, 4
3
kids.
kids.
2 girls and a boy. Little Louie.
Yeah.
How old's little Louie now?
Louie's a first grader, dude. He's a little jiu-jitsu stud, bro. He's not much at ball sports, but he's good at jiu-jitsu, bro. He'll sit on you for sure.
He'll put you in an arm bar. But
absolutely.
So being married, having kiddos, multiple businesses. A couple things. One, how do you stay grounded with God? How do you keep yourself a priority over anyone or anything else? This is a loaded question.
Yeah,
clearly.
Yeah, you think you say last question, but like that, I'm gonna give you a 30-minute answer.
No, it's fine. It'll be the last one and we'll finish. And then how do you keep your spouse the number one person next to you over partners, over anyone, anything else?
Yeah.
And how do you make sure you leave and make an impact and create experiences and leave an impact on your kids while doing all those other things?
I love that. Starting number 1, God. 5 years ago, I wanted to build my business in such a way that by the time my kids were in that busy stage of life where you want to coach their soccer team and be present in their lives, like that decade from like 5 to 15 where they're like old enough to be fun and young enough to still like you. I want to be super available. So I worked my butt off to be super available, and I was so good at it that I got there 5 years too soon. So like I was working 5 hours a week, and my kids are like 3, 1, and not born.
Yeah.
And like you can't really like crap. I got nothing to do.
We need to change diapers all day.
Yeah. So I'm like not working and not coaching any soccer practices. And so then it didn't align for me spiritually. I do this exercise with my mentor where we imagine my 50th birthday every year, and we imagine where I am and who's there, and they go around. You imagine that you're your 50th birthday, and you go around the room, and everyone says what they love about you. And so I do this every year at least once with my mentor, and you ask, how do I hope I feel about myself? And what do I hope others say about me? So what do I say about myself? What do others say about me? What I wanted to feel.
For your 50th birthday.
Yeah.
And you're 20.
At this point, I've been doing this since I was 28 every year with my mentor. This alone is enough to give my mentor X% of my business for the rest of his life because it's served me exponentially. So this one activity has been a blessing. But years ago, I decided I want to feel wisdom and confidence at my 50th birthday. And so I asked myself, well, where might that come from? And I thought, well, wisdom will come from trying hard things and failing, and confidence will come from trying hard things and succeeding. So either way, I gotta do hard stuff. So here I am at whatever, 32, doing no hard stuff. Like my business is kind of on autopilot, and I'm not really doing anything. So it didn't align with me spiritually or emotionally to sort of check out and just mountain bike and play golf all day. So I'm like, I gotta get back. I gotta do something hard.
I remember your man cave in Northeast Mesa. You still have it?
Yeah, dude. Still have it. Just full of bikes at the bottom of the mountain bike trails. So I knew I needed to, so how do I stay close to God? One, I get a sense of what God wants for me. And what I feel like God wants for me is to contribute, is to bless others. So my new mission statement became like to do as much good as I can to as many people as I can, according to my talents, opportunities, and passions. Like what am I good at? What do I love? And what's right in front of me? Like what do I have an opportunity to serve people in? And I want to go do the most freaking good I can. So the reason I have these new business partnerships is because I want to do the most good I can according to what I love. So if I love small business, then I just believe that I love small business because God wants me to love small business, because that's where I can go serve. So like,
your calling.
That's my calling, dude. Yeah. And there's this great quote saying, every bush is a flame, but only those that notice take off their shoes and worship. Like Moses saw God in a burning bush. A bush isn't remarkable. It's at least as boring as a roofing company, right? Maybe more boring. But Moses saw God, the most transformational experience in all of organized religion. It's probably Moses seeing God in a burning bush and getting the 10 Commandments. Like that's like Islam, Christianity, Judaism, like changed the world. Sure. And it was all happened because Moses had eyes to see God in something unremarkable. So I can see God in my boring businesses. So I don't have God over here and business over here. It's like, dude, every bush is a flame, dude. Like this is where I see God, and this is where I love. I'm gonna go get after it. I'm gonna go serve as many people as I can in this space. So that's like a deeply spiritual experience for me to deconstruct the walls between my spiritual life and my business life. Like there's this book by Richard Rohr that says everything is sacred. So in my life, dude, everything's sacred. So I keep God first because God's just everywhere. And then the second thing I realize is as I get older, I can't remember which question it was, but like
your personal self. So
my personal self,
stereotypical blue collar entrepreneurs. What do? First thing we do, in the roofing space, we get addicted to cocaine. We become alcoholics, and we put on 100.
Salespeople just become alcoholics and cheat on their wives.
Dude, I'm going to take a picture. So I'm supposed to go to a trip in February with Heidi for a supplier trip. We buy a certain order of product. They send you to on vacation for a week. I call it Seal Beach. So you live in California, right? Yep. Been to Seal Beach. What do you see? A bunch of fat seals laying on the beach. That is a roofing trip to a freaking T. Right? They're either roid monkeys and like 3% body fat, or
they'll be dead at 45. Yeah.
98% of them are 100 to 200 pounds overweight, both them and their spouse, and they're like beach whales on the beach. Clearly you're not one of those. And you're 40?
Dude, I want this on the record in the podcast. Got my blood work done because I turned 40 next year. I take no supplements. I do no injections. I do no tea. 1,002 testosterone score. It's the manliest thing that I've ever learned about myself in my entire life. I have 1,000 testosterone. It's bizarre.
Do you know do you know what you're doing on purpose to have it or get it?
No, nothing. I'm the least
the best part.
I'm like the least manly person I know. Like I can't bench my body weight, but like I have 1,000 testosterone, so I think it's just good genetics. So the thing I think about like staying grounded and staying balanced and not becoming a coke addict or cheating on my wife or being 200 pounds overweight is in my 20s, I'm not proud to admit this, but like I get into some therapy, and I know you like therapy, and I like good therapy. So you must have found a good therapist. I've had some good and some bad therapists. Bad therapist is like, I'm sad, and therapist is like, who hurt you? Whose fault is it? I'm like, I don't know, my parents' fault.
Here's a prescription.
Yeah, it's your parents' fault, and fix it with drugs. And so there was a period in my life where everything that was going good in my life, I attributed to myself. My business is going good because I'm a freaking genius, bro. My wife's hot. Yeah, dude, it's because I'm freaking dope, dude. Like, I got lots of cool friends because I'm the freaking most interesting person. Of course I have lots of cool friends. I'm the coolest person I know. Who wouldn't want to, like, anything good was like Jason Jarvis is crushing. Right. Anything bad, I'm like, that's God's fault. Because God gave me these parents. These parents taught me this thing that wasn't right. God let me have Brother Ramirez for seminary my freshman year, and he's the one who said that I think of masturbation as adultery, and that's why I have low self-esteem, because I masturbated and thought I'd committed the worst sin on planet Earth besides murder. It's this person's fault. So anything bad was God's fault. Sorry, Brother Ramirez, if you're still alive. Sorry, not sorry. You jacked me up. That was bad advice.
Bad advice.
PSA to all the kids listening, masturbation is not adultery. It's not great. It's not adultery.
Yeah.
So anything bad that happened to me, I blame God. Yeah. Or my parents. So I thought that's kind of what bad therapy was teaching me. If I'm sad, someone else hurt me. Okay. Anything good, I did. I get in my 30s, have some life experience, you get roughed up a little bit. You have a theory, you test it out. So I live like everything good is because of me and everything bad is because of God. And that didn't make me happier. It didn't work. So like I'm living under this premise. The premise isn't working. You got to change the premise. Right. And usually you change when things get really painful and hard. So I have some hard, painful experiences in my life. And through those hard, painful experiences, I realized that I wasn't off by 3 degrees. I was off by 180 degrees. So like everything bad in my life is because I'm an idiot. And anything good in my life is a gift from God. And I came to believe, and one way I came to believe that is, without getting into too many details, I have a family. Like I have my wife and children, but I have a family I grew up in, my siblings and my parents and extended family. And I look around and I look that some of us got a good hand and some of us got a less good hand. Some of my siblings struggle with weight. I don't. What credit do I get for that? I didn't do that. I just got my mom's side of the family genetics, and other people get my dad's side of the family genetics. That's right, your daddy was huge. Dude, my dad and little brother both had gastric bypass surgery. I come from a big family.
I met him right after he had it.
Yeah. He was big, he's 300 pounds. I got 2 uncles that are probably close to 400 pounds. And I don't eat any healthier than they. Like I just got a different genetic makeup. Like if I'm smart, it's like I remember being in kindergarten, answering all my teacher would hold up flashcards for math, and I'd answer all of them before everybody. I remember my kindergarten teacher being like, "Okay, Jason, you can't answer anymore." With like I was answering. I was the smartest kid in kindergarten. Was that because I was like at home studying? No, God gave me a brain that was good at math.
Sheldon Cooper.
Yeah, dude, like somewhere less than that. Like I was just like regular smart. Like I didn't earn that. Like the personality I have is just like I've been me since I was born. I didn't earn this personality. I didn't do anything for it. It's not good about. But whatever I got going on in my life is 100% a gift from God. And I have a little brother who's got real mental health challenges he's survived. And if I want to tell you real spiritual experience that involves my dad, I was having a hard time and I didn't go to my parents for help maybe 3 years ago. And finally my wife says, "You need to go talk to your mom and dad. I feel spiritually impressed. You talk to your mom and dad." I kind of get dragged to go talk to my mom and dad. I'm embarrassed. I'm a grown man going to freaking get help from my parents. I'm all embarrassed, like I'm better than that somehow. And my dad's like, "Why don't you talk to me, bro?" And I go, the most arrogant thing I've probably ever said in the history of my life is I said, well, all your other kids are all jacked up, and I'm amazing. I wanted you to have one kid you could just be proud of. I make money and my wife's cute, my kids are cute, and I want to be like, "Dad, you're a good man. You deserve to have one kid that you can be proud of, and I don't want to burden you with all my shit, I just want one kid you can be proud of." And somehow the topic came to my little brother, and he goes, "Hey, I love you." So my dad says, "Hey, I love you." And he goes, "Hey, you have no idea how much it lights me up that my dad's in the business community in Mesa and Gilbert, and so he meets people that know me, and they go, 'Oh, you,'" he goes, "People say, 'Are you Jason's dad?'" And I go, "Yeah, I am." He goes, "And I just know before they ever say anything, they say, 'I love your son. Your son's great.'" And he goes, I love that anywhere I go, I'm proud to be a Jarvis, and I hope they know Jason Jarvis. I hope they ask me, 'Am I your dad?' Because I know that you're," and he goes, "I love that about you. I'm so proud of you." And he goes, "But your little brother has survived things that you couldn't imagine." He goes, "You have no idea how proud of him I am. He goes, I am not 1% more proud of you than I am of him. In fact, that kid's tougher. That kid's been through shit you couldn't dream of that would break you in a million pieces. You couldn't survive. That kid's got some mental health challenges that he didn't ask for, he didn't choose, and he wrestles and he beats and he overcomes every day, and you have no people don't ask me as often, are you Cole's dad? Because he's not out there doing business like you. Whoop-de-freaking do. I don't give two shits, dude. Like, you're not that, he's like, you're just not that cool, dude. Like, that's cute that you think I'm more, like, that like you somehow are better than your siblings, like, I'm more proud of you. Like, you have no freaking clue, dude. And it was like, whoa, like, my dad, in the most loving way, this was like 2 years ago, in the most loving way possible was like, he just, like, it was the most godlike chastisement. It was full of love and full of like, you're an idiot. He smacked me, dude. Smacked me with love and with total clarity. He's like, you have no idea. Of course I love you. And like, you don't get it, dude. And it just kind of like stripped all the pride out of me. And I just realized, I'm like, oh yeah. If I had my little brother's life, I'd be doing as good or worse than my little brother. Like, if my little brother had my life, he'd be doing as good or better than I'm doing. Like, I woke up on third and think I had a triple and whatever. Like, it's nothing. Like, so I just realized, like, genuinely realized that everything I have is a gift from God. If I didn't earn it, and I don't deserve it, at the very least, I can use it responsibly. So I'm like, it always felt like my goal was to make 400 grand a year by the time I turned 30. I turned 30, I made 401 grand on my taxable income. Like, I hit the goal, the biggest dream I ever had. So after 30, I had no bigger dream. It was the biggest dream I ever had. So after that, I'm like, I guess I just dick around the rest of my life. Like,
no purpose.
And then it was like, I felt God, like, I don't feel God all that. I'm not that spiritually in tune. And I usually think God's like a loving God, but like angry God showed up in my life in this point and was like, if you think that I gave you great young men's leaders, great Boy Scout leaders, great parents, great community, a brain that could do math faster than the other kindergartner's brain could do math, personality that people seem to whatever reason like.
Confidence in public speaking.
Confidence in public speaking. I go on my mission. Turns out I'm great at learning languages. Who knew? Like, I've learned Hungarian better than everyone else learns. All gifts from God. And he's like, if you freaking think that I gave you all that stuff so you could stand on my shoulders and act like you're tall, I will smite you. If you think I gave you all this so you could buy jet skis and go ski around the lake and bless nobody's life, I will kill you. Like, it'll be you and Hitler in hell together. Like, God's like, don't you dare act like I gave you all this stuff. And then you go, ooh, look what I did. And God's like, you better freaking go and serve somebody else with that. I did not give this to you for you to consume on your own lust or your own ego or your own entertainment. Like, you better go freaking serve somebody, dude. And it was like, it was God and my dad in these two separate experiences a few years apart are just smote me with love. Like, how dare you think that you got this because you deserve it. Yeah. You got this because I thought you wouldn't turn into a colossal asshole if you got it, and God wouldn't call me an asshole, right? So like, other than that, yeah, go and serve people with it. So like, for me, I go out in my business and I keep God grounded because like, God's kind of at this point, I'm not one of those guys who's like, can I dry your house and give you a copy of the Bible? Like, I'm not like preaching. Sure. It's just like everything's spiritual. It's like, dude, I'm going to go try to help Hayden be a millionaire. I'm going to try to help Jason be a millionaire, even though we both own roofing companies. I'm just going to try to serve and be like, look, God, like, I'm not an idiot. I know this is all a gift. I'm going to use it for good.
Not getting into my side of that because we're going to run out of time. But like, probably 2 years ago, because people like, oh, scale's stupid. And who's the Jason Payne guy? And like, coaching and consulting stupid. It's a waste of money. And like, you're wasting money if you go over there and all the shit, all the shit and all this hate. And I'm like, but like, because my previous coaching program that I had with certain people, and that worked out really well for me. Talk about like going against God. He's like, hold my beer, my root beer, but hold my beer.
That experience left you rich in wisdom. Yeah, experience.
Rich in wisdom and almost divorced, but like it's. Yeah, but like there was a thing is like, dude, I called you not to be cocky and not to boast and not to like, you can have nice things and do epic shit, but I did not call you to be that guy.
Yeah, there you go.
And he's like, this is what I called you to do. Because in my patriarchal blessing, it talks about being a leader of men. And I'm like, is it young men? Is it old men? Is it blue collar men? Or is it, and so I'm always like asking myself like, well, like, what does that mean? What does that mean? What does that mean? As you still keep on going, instead of just sitting and thinking, like going and doing while pondering. And I'm like, oh my gosh. I'm like, oh, maybe like I was gifted. Like, how did you do $10 million in 40 months from scratch? No partners, I didn't have a Heath in my back pocket. My cute little, like, oh, hey, do you see his name?
Yeah.
Like, this cool guy, his name's Heath. Like, look at this little guy. Like,
He's already done it. And he can tell me how to do it. You're just figuring it out.
I have one of those, at least not directly, right?
Yeah.
And I've had plenty of mentors, make that very clear. But like, you just get this calling, and some people get it, and some people get it in different ways.
Yeah.
And my thing is like, I've been called and I've been asked to help I'm now the state employment specialist.
No way.
Yeah.
Keith Bradley, my business partner, was the global director of self-reliance for the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. He created all the materials you use as state employment specialist. My business partner created.
Right.
That was his job.
And so like I have it at a stake level.
So I love that
program. And then I have it at a church level, and now I have it like I'm doing it for scale, and I'm not charging $1 gajillion. Like I'm doing it like almost like breaking even.
Yeah.
But the fulfillment behind it is absolutely insane.
Yeah.
But like because I saw the struggles I went with when I was at my uncle's company, and the struggles that I've gone through, and I'm like, what if I could just help? Like I call myself a legacy changer.
So fun.
Because
nothing's more fulfilling. It's the most fun thing you can do.
There's nothing. But like if you haven't done it, you can't change. So if you've never done it, like how can you be like, oh, I know exactly what to do. I know how to pivot. I know how to do this. I know that. You've never done it, so you can't relate.
In my 50th birthday activity, I left this part out for brevity, but 2 things stood out. I was like, I want wisdom and confidence. But the other thing was at my 50th birthday, when I go around the room and everyone says what Jason means to them, it was all a bunch of 30-somethings. And they all say, hey, Jason met me at a very pivotal transitional time in my life, and he helped me. Not Jason's my hero, Jason's the most important. It wasn't that. It was just like, dude, I was 22, and I called him up, and he took my call, and then he blessed my life. He gave me 2 hours, and he gave me another hour. It was so clear as I imagined my 50th birthday that all I want to do is have a bunch of people that are a decade younger than me that can call me and say, dude, what should I do with my life? And I go, I don't know, man, who are you? Tell me about yourself. And I just help them. And I know that's part of God's calling for me, is to just, and so then I was like, well, I can't work 5 hours a week and then have something interesting to say when some kid says, how do I grind it out and build a business? I'm like, I don't know, I forget I'm on a jet ski. It's like I got to stay in it so that I can stay sharp.
I'm surfing. Hold on, I got to catch this wave real quick.
So, and I do a little of that, but I've got to stay in the game so that I'm sharp enough to help others.
Yeah, it's funny your 50th birthday type thing. I forgot who told me this, but it left a really big thing. That's like, and I truly want this, not to boast, but just so Charlie Kirk coming up Sunday, right? Yeah. In State Farm Stadium. There's gonna be a gajillion people there.
Yeah.
And just one example, but the thing was when you die, people at your funeral, and not as a flex, they're going to be like you and your family, and there's 8 of you on the front row. There's those stereotypical movies, everybody's dressed in black, and there's 20 chairs, and it's a terrible thing. Or is it we can't do it? Those LDS don't know. Are we going to do it at a church building?
Yeah.
Or oh no, let's go do it at a stake center. It's oh no, we're going to go do it at a gymnasium because it's too big. Oh no,
State Farm Stadium.
Hey, we're going to have Jason Jarvis's or Jason Payne's funeral, and we need to rent out ASU Stadium.
Yeah.
Or we need hey, or do the Cardinals have anything going on this Thursday?
And as a result of him dying, millions of people are going to say, I'm going to go be better because that's how I can honor this person's legacy. They inspire me, point me to Jesus, point me to serve others, point me to what, it's everyone knows. What a blessing if you died and everyone knew what you stood for. And they were like, I'm going to go try to be like that.
And he's 31.
Wild.
And 39 and 38. Dude, you don't have to be this freaking dinosaur to make an impact on people's lives. But you got it. But dude, and I say this humbly, you started making moves. Even as a teenager, you were making moves, and in your teens, in your early 20s, you weren't screwing around and dicking around. We all were to an extent, but we were shaking and baking.
I was reading Dale Carnegie and Stephen Covey at 15. I was also an idiot, but I also was doing some intelligent things from a young age to try to get some positive momentum.
Right. But like I said, so age is just a number. That's what I love people saying all the time. So quickly, we talked about God, talked about you and your personal development. What about your spouse and your kids? Because something that I teach and I coach and scale that some people even my mentors never talk about. How's your relationship with your wife? How's your relationship with your kids? There's make money, grow, scale, exit, make a shit ton of money. That's great. But there's something that I teach this as well too. I heard this from somebody, but if you ever cheat on your spouse, I'll fire you. Like, you won't work with me.
And I used to ask that. I'm like, is it legal? If I find out that someone cheated, could I fire them, or am I going to get sued for that?
The best part
is it's not a values alignment anymore.
It's my business, pound salt. Yeah. So, but the other part is like, I have now had to move it to stay with my core values of who I am and not lower.
I always say the opposite. I say, if I cheat on my wife, I hope all you quit. That's what I tell them. Like, I don't tell them. I always say to other people, I said, listen, what I love about small business is it's about reputation, who you are. My team works for me because they believe in my values. Right. If they discover me to not be who I say I am, I hope they all leave.
Well, and what about the next tier that I'm really running into right now is, what about somebody that I'm doing business with, like no business partner, but like somebody that I collaborate with, somebody that I send deals to, somebody that I put my name and I hitch my trailer to their wagon, right, or to their truck, and that dude cheats.
Yeah.
Dude, I have that happening, not right and left, but like I've had that happen twice. Yeah. I'm like, I will never do business with you again. Real estate, I'll never do business. Like, I'm out.
That's all you got.
Like, you're done. Boom.
His reputation. So my favorite article around this topic is How Will You Measure Your Life by Clayton Christensen. There's the book, which is like 300 pages.
How Will You Measure
Your Life by Clayton Christensen.
Dakota, write that down. Text it to me.
Goes to Harvard.
Try.
Super bright guy. 20 years later, he goes to his 20-year Harvard Business School reunion, and like half of them are divorced and miserable and whatever. 2 of them were in jail. 2 of his Harvard Business School classmates worked for Enron. Like, we're in jail at their 20 year. And he said no one set out when they graduated from Harvard saying, 20 years from now, I'm going to be estranged from my children. I'm going to be in jail. I'm going to be on 800 milligrams of SSRIs and miserable. Like, they all set out with the, bright-eyed and bushy-tailed, but then they executed a strategy that led them to jail, divorce, estrangement from their children, workaholism, alcoholism, whatever. Yeah, all of this stuff. And so, he writes this article. It was a speech at Harvard, and then it became an article, and then it became a book. And he just says, like, being intentional with your life. Like, these guys didn't set out to accomplish that, but by not being clear on what aligned for them, they ended up where they never intended to go. So then the article really lays out an incredible vision for how you can avoid that. But I think about that often, like what matters most to me. And so, but where I have to be careful is where I'm not doing as well as I would like is I think that I always talk about how my wife and kids are the most important thing in my life. And I always talk about how much I love being a dad. And if I start talking about my kids, I'll cry. I love them. I really do love them. And so it's almost like, have you ever heard that, like, as a man, I would like take a bullet for my wife, but I won't take out the trash for my wife. It's like some grand gesture, like my kid, in some grand way, my kids and my wife are absolutely the most important thing to me. And yet, I'm not sure, I'm evaluating my own life. If you followed me around for a week, you would definitely know I love my kids. You would definitely know I love my wife. But it wouldn't be
to that level,
to the level that I would like it to be. I'm not quite ready to meet God and talk about that yet. Like, I'd like, God, can I stay alive a little longer? I think I can get better. I'd like to improve before I die, please. Right. I think the lesson I'm learning is, because I always tell myself and tell others how my wife and kids are the most important thing in my life, I'm almost buying my own words instead of observing my own behavior. It's like I'm not watching my behavior that closely, because I'm like, oh, of course I love my kids. I say it 57 times a day. But then I come home and my kids are right there and I'm right here. You know what I mean? Or my wife calls and I'm busy at work and I go, I want my wife to respect how hard I work. So when I answer the call at 2 o'clock on Tuesday, I'm going to act really stressed and really grumpy and really too busy so that she knows how hard I'm working. And I'm like, hey, no, I'm busy. What? Is there an emergency? Oh yeah, well, I mean, I wanted to answer because obviously you're the most important thing in my life, but if it's not important, like I'm actually like really important and busy. And she's like, no, I just was calling to like see how you're doing. Well, I'm not doing great because there's a lot going on, but thanks. And like, it's like, and I hang up and I'm like, what was that, dude? Like, that's not great.
You want to throw a curveball at you?
Yeah.
Oh, that's the last conversation you had before your wife gets shot in the neck.
Yeah, and then I get shot in the neck, and I'm like, that's my legacy. Like, I'm like, God, please don't kill me yet. Like, I need to
not being weird, but I was like, okay, so Erica and Charlie Kirk, right? Having kiddos, they have 2 kids, and I'm like, like, when was the last time they had sex? Like, when's the last time they truly emotionally connected?
Yeah.
I found out later that they were there. Like,
they were there.
Like right there.
Right there.
Which is awesome. Not in that way, but like
the idea that they built their life together is awesome.
Yeah. But like, when was the last time they went on a date?
Yeah.
And I asked myself this. I'm like, okay, cool. Like,
Yeah.
because it was just, dude, how many thousands and thousands of those type of events has he done?
Yeah.
He probably does 1 to 2 of those a day, 5 days a week, 7 days a week.
I went to a vigil for him in Southern California, and one of his pastors had flown in from Arizona was there, and they said, I'm his pastor. They go, well, he's on the road 320 days a year, so I guess I'm his pastor 45 days a year. So it's like, he's on the road all the freaking time.
Yeah.
She's with him.
But like,
at least often.
Right. But like, is that how you want to end your last conversation with your spouse?
Yeah, so like,
or last time with your kids, like, hey, I got to go run do this meeting. I got to go run do this. Like, love you, bye. Or like, hey, don't do this. And you walk out the door. It's like, that was the last time you had a communication with your kids.
Yeah.
Dude, shook me. So, there's like, those
I feel like I'm a really good dad and I'm a really good husband. And I love my kids and sincere, and like I don't cheat on my wife, and I'm not rude to her. I don't hit my kids. Like I'm in the top percentile of dads. I'm a good dad, but I have a high standard in my life, and I feel called to repentance. If the definition of repentance is, if sin is to just kind of miss the bullseye, and repentance is just sort of like recalibrate and try again, I just kind of go, yeah, dude, that's a pretty tight grouping there. Like I'm close to the bullseye, but like I feel like maybe it's Charlie Kirk, maybe it's a season of my life. Maybe it's because I said I want to spend a ton of time with my kids in this 5 to 15 range, and I got there early, and I was like, oh no, like I'm not contributing, I need to contribute. Now I've ramped back up, now I'm the busiest I've been in a decade, and it's like, oh crap, I've missed 2 of my daughter's volleyball practices because I was working, and I'm like, so I'm in this calibration process where like, I repented for not working hard enough and not being a good steward over the God-given talents I have. I ramped that up, and now this feels out. So I'm like, I'm juggling swords and trying to get it right, and I'm doing a good job, but I do feel this moment like I'm not the one to sit here and say, here's how I've taken my wife on 57 straight dates, 57 Fridays in a row. I feel like we love each other and we're great. I love my kids, are great. And I feel like if I love them a lot, but not as much as I say I do. Like I don't look like I don't act like I love them as much as I say I love them, and that is not okay for me. Like if I say my kids are the most important thing in my life, and then I'm scrolling through Charlie Kirk posts on Instagram while my kid says, do you want to draw a picture with me? Then like I need to just clean that up a bit.
Yeah. Oh man. Deep breath. Now we can exhale. 90 minutes later, exhale after that. I'm telling you guys, that's like, and I appreciate you coming on. By the way, like you said, you live in California. You're an asshole, and didn't tell me that you were coming to Arizona. But you've probably been to Arizona 30 other times, and you still haven't told me that you're here.
Yeah.
Because you know, flying to the Reddit, right?
Yeah.
But I found out from my trainer that he was here. So
You found out from your trainer that I was here because I said, Jason still works out here, doesn't he? He said, yes. And I said, well, one, if I'm going to say one thing about Jason Payne, what I'd want you to know, Terrence, is I freaking love Jason Payne. And then we talked about you a little bit more, but like, you know that I saw the trainer, not you, because I stopped the trainer and said, I freaking love that guy.
Yeah. But the fact that you came over and like you made time to come here and be here is huge, because like I said, there's a lot of dudes that are struggling right now. There's a lot of dudes and women too, but like, just of how to, like I said, reconnect or connect for the first time with God,
Totally.
or start making their marriage a priority. Like I've seen it now more than ever, maybe the Charlie Kirk thing going on, but like algorithms on social media. But it talks about like, dude, like if you literally have a roof over, and this is most like cliche thing, because I'm like, make $1 million, make $1 gajillion.
Now make $2 million, now make $10 million.
Yeah, but I'm like, dude, like be so financially well off that like that you can go wherever you want, do whatever you want, whenever you want, with whoever you want.
Yeah.
Right. That's my thing. Like I can leave, boom, or I can go. I can swipe my card for this.
Go to dinner, and not worry about the price. Plan a vacation, and not have it come at the expense of your kid's soccer team.
Yeah, like I can go to the Four Seasons in Hawaii with my family for a month, and not blink about my business, about my income, about my relationships, about whatever, and everything is like, boom. So like that is the goal personally, but at the same time, it literally talks about like, dude, if your wife loves you, and you love your wife, if your kids are like, I would say not assholes, you can't really control all of that,
right?
But like if your kids are like good kids, because my wife struggles with this, and she's done so much, so good the last like 2 years, but I have like identity crisis, right? Like I'm just a stay-at-home mom. Like how many people, like especially stereotypical, like LDS women, like they have a ton of kids, and they're like, that's their identity, and then when the kids get older and whatever, then like
then social media kind of denigrates motherhood, and so then it's like, well, my whole life's motherhood. The culture says motherhood is like not that cool unless you're also a boss babe or this or that or the other, and like all of a sudden it's freaking difficult.
And as a motherhood, like there's no W-2 behind it. Like show me your dollar amount behind that. But then like I see it all the time of like I ironically went to breakfast with the Higley Unified School District, with a huge like community business breakfast type thing. And the principal was there and she said, I freaking love your kids. And like, as much as like you, like, I want to take all the credit, right?
Yeah.
And I'm like,
you're welcome.
I was like, it's because my wife's a freaking badass.
Yeah.
Right? And like, and those are things that
it's also because God chose to give you good kids, dude.
Yeah, and you can't measure
and a good
that.
wife.
Well, and that's the other thing too. Like, and I think of like kids that, I mean, like I said, other kids that have like disabilities, whether it's like a handicap or a mental or this or that. And I was like, internally, this is very vulnerable of me to say this, but like, none of my kids are messed up or have any of those type of struggles.
Yeah.
Whether and none of them are self-inflicted, right?
Yeah.
But like, okay, so none of my kids have that. I don't have that. My wife doesn't have that. What am I supposed to be doing? Like, how much? Like,
you're in the top 1% of luckiest human beings to ever be born. Just
number one, and number two, like, what am I supposed to be doing to bless the lives of other people that are not that fortunate?
Because if you didn't earn that, but you got 1 in 1,000 lucky, then you better be out there and doing something good to the world.
Well, then I see all the other guys, including myself, literally just a few years ago, like letting themselves go, like physically and mentally and emotionally and spiritually and psychologically and all the lees. But like, there's nothing wrong with you. But you're just like, dude, God gave you this amazing, healthy body, and you freaking you jack it up and you put shit in there. You eat shit, you look at shit, you watch shit, you listen to shit, and now you're a piece of shit. But God literally gave you an amazing body with like no disabilities, and you fuck it up.
It was default perfect, and you wrecked it.
Right? But dude, that's something I struggle with. Like, call it imposter syndrome. And I'm like, dude, it's like I have an amazing wife, amazing kids, I have all these things, and I'm like, dude, but like that's why I love the Kobe's, I love the Charlie Kirks of the world. They go 100 freaking miles an hour until God says, come back.
Yeah, that's what I love about you. I go, dude, that guy goes full speed, dude. Goes full speed, and he is who he is. If I were to, for whatever reason, in conclusion, the last thing I would say is, if there are people listening that feel inspired to be, there seems to be like a spiritual revival going on in America right now in parts of it. The thing that I've learned is like, if you're not a stereotypically, dogmatically religious or spiritual person, the thing that I've learned that's been beautiful for me is like, either everything's a miracle or nothing is. Either God's everywhere or he's nowhere. So if there's God, whatever you love, dude, God is there. Like, just don't go searching for God just in the Bible, just at church. Don't just sit there and pray and say, God, I want to give me a spiritual experience. It's like, dude, life is a spiritual experience, dude. Just smell the air, look at the sunset, enjoy your spouse, and just kind of go, everything is a miracle, everything is divine, everything's touched by the hand of God. And like, if you're like, if you don't know where to start, you don't have to start with sitting in a pew at church and being like, this totally feels natural and comfortable, because maybe it isn't. But dude, you can meet God everywhere and anywhere, because either everything's divine or nothing is. And like, that's a good place to start for me, is like the whole world is divine. And then, and I think it's the book of Luke, the Pharisees like, where's the kingdom of heaven? And is it here? Is it there? And Christ says, no, dude. It's like, it will not be, when the kingdom of God is at hand, it will not be lo, it is here, and lo, it is there. But for the kingdom of God is within you. It's like, dude, everything divine, you don't have to reach out into the universe wherever God is and try to have him beam you down something spiritual. Right. The kingdom of God is in you. The Catholics say, God before me, God behind me, God beside me, God within me. Like, that's a great place to start if you're not sure where to start. It's like, God's behind you, in front of you, beside you, and within you.
My man, Jason Jarvis, everybody.
Thanks, bro.
Dude, thanks for being here. Appreciate you. And next time you come, let's grab a talk.
One of the next 10 times I'm here, I'll tell you.
One of the next 10 times, if I get fortunate enough to find you on social media or stalk you and your friends, they're like,